Hello friends, welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to continue the story of Sky Horses, The Whispering Tree by Linda Chapman. Chapter 2. After supper that night, Erin went to her bedroom. Downstairs, she could hear a car race blaring out on the TV. The rest of her sports mad family were all in the lounge watching it. She went to her windowsill. There was a wooden box on it that was full of stones with holes in hagstones. Erin took one out and sat down on her bed with it. She was a special kind of stardust spirit called Weather Weaver. Marianne, the dark spirit, was a weather weaver too. Weather weavers could work magic with hagstones and use them for talking to the sky horses. Erin stroked the pale smooth stone in her hand. There were different types of hagstones, and they could all be used to different kinds of magic. Seeing stones like the stone in her hand had a single hole through the center, and they could be used for visions of people and places and talking to the people or the sky horses far away. Stones with two holes were called warding stones. They could be used to protect the person holding them from being injured or being watched. There were other stones too, like healing stones, but Erin hadn't learned how to use those yet. If Mom was still alive, maybe she would have taught me, Erin thought. Her real mom had died almost 8 years ago in a car accident. Erin now knew that the weather weaving was always inherited, so her mom must have been a weather weaver too. Erin looked down again at the hagstone in her hands. It was so strange to think that she had the power to affect the weather. Thor had explained to her that the weather weavers worked in a harmony with the horses. Not Marian though, thought Erin with a shiver. Marian wanted to make the sky horses do whatever she wanted so that she had complete control over the weather and everyone would fear her. Sky horses of royal blood could be used to control the weather from Earth, which was why Marian had captured Thor. Erin had used her weather magic to free him. However, just as Thor had been about to go back to the skies through a magic gateway at a place called World's End, Marian had tricked his son Mistral into coming through to look for him. Marian had imprisoned the fall in a trapping stone and tried to use him to control the weather instead. Almost 2 weeks ago, Erin and Chloe had managed to find the trapping stone, and Erin had used her powers to break it and free Mistral. But as she had done so, the gateway had destroyed. Now, Erin and Chloe were trying to help Mistral and Top finding another gateway so they could return home. If only we knew where it was, thought Erin. There was a stardust prophecy that suggested that there was another gateway hidden somewhere. Two hidden gateways now balance the light and the darkness. One lost in memory, hidden by the sea. The dark door is reserved for the hand that creates it. The other lies close to the whispering tree, deep underground and made from moonlight. When it is found, then two can be free. Lost in memory, hidden by the sea, Erin whispered, thinking hard. Deep underground, made from the moonlight, near a whispering tree. She frowned. How could something be underground but hidden by the sea and be near a tree? It didn't make any sense. What is a whispering tree anyway? She wondered. Her fingers burst as if the stone was sending sparks of electricity into her skin. Magic, she realized. She caught her breath as she had an idea. Could she use the hagstone to see where the whispering tree was? She stared at the hole in the stone and let her mind go blank apart from one thought, the whispering tree. She let the words float in and out of her mind, waiting to see what would happen and if the hackstone would show her anything. Darkness closed in on her, and a picture started to appear inside the hole in the stone. It grew bigger and bigger until Erin wasn't sure whether she was looking at it or whether she was actually in the vision herself. There was a tree in front of her, a tall tree with a gnarled grey trunk and a round green leaves with feathered wedges hanging down from the slender branches. The leaves rustled together in the breeze, making a whispering sound, almost as if they were talking. Erin could hear waves crashing on rocks nearby, but before she could look around and see if she could recognize where she was, the tree started to dissolve and a new vision began to form. Erin was taken aback. What was happening? Often the vision she had through the stones would fade. Tor had said it was because she wasn't a very experienced weather weaver, but she wasn't used to new visions taking their place. She watched as the picture changed. It was the same tree, but this time there was someone sitting under it. A girl wearing white jeans and a yellow and brown t shirt and a long coat. She looked about Erin's age and had a fringe and a dark hair that curled under her shoulders. She was writing in a blue leather diary. She looked up and chewed a pen. Erin gasped. She knew who it was. She would seen photos in the photo album downstairs. Her throat felt dry with shock. Mom? She managed to whisper. She had a rushing, squalling feeling, and then darkness engulfed her. She blinked and found herself back in her room again. Her heart pounded. Calm down, she thought. It was just a vision. But she couldn't calm down. She would never seen into the past before. And to see her mom when in real life she would hardly remember her. Erin could not stop trembling. Her mom had been sitting by the whispering tree, the very tree Erin was trying to find, and she had been writing in a diary. A diary. Erin's eyes widened as she made the connection with her real life. Up in the attic, there was a box full of her mom's old diaries and notebooks. Erin's dad had said he was keeping them for Erin when she got older. A few years ago, Erin had got through some of them, but her mom's handwriting had been quite hard to read, and what she would have deciphered hadn't made much sense. In the end, she would have given up. She hadn't thought about the box since then, but maybe things about stardust and weather weaving were written in those diaries and journals. Maybe there would be a clue about the whispering tree. Erin jumped to her feet and ran downstairs. The car race was still on. Joe, her dad, and her brothers, Jack, Sam, and Ben, were all glued to it. Dad, Erin said. Later, Erin, it's almost finished. But Dad, this is important. Can I go into the attic? Why? Asked her dad, not taking his eyes off the telly. I just want to look through those old diaries of Mom's. That had the effect of getting her dad's attention. He looked swiftly at her. Any particular reason, sweetheart? No, said Irene, shaking her head, seeing Joe glance at her too. I just feel like it. Her dad frowned. Okay, well, of course it's fine, but maybe I will come with you. However, just then there was an excited yell from the commentator on the TV, and Erin's brother and Joe all gasped. The Ferrari's gone, shouted Jack. Erin's dad's eyes darted back to the TV. Erin quietly left the room. She went back upstairs and up a further flight that led into the attic room. It was a long, dark, dusty room, and there were boxes and old suitcases everywhere. A single light bulb hung down from the roof. Erin switched it on and a weak yellow light shone out, illuminating the darkness. Erin spotted the plastic crate quickly. It was pushed to one side of the attic room. She hurried over and took the lid off. Yes, they were all diaries. Erin's eyes fell on a blue diary. It looked just like the diary her mom had been writing in when she had seen in a vision. She picked it up and looked inside. Her mom had written her name on the first page: Rachel Margaret Winston, aged 10 and 3/4. It was 2 year diary and there was a lock of dark hair pressed inside the cover, secured with a piece of yellowing sticky tape. Mum's hair, thought Erin, touching it in awe. It was darker than her own. Gingerly, she turned over the pages of the diary and began to read. Friends, I hope you enjoyed the second chapter of the story. There are more chapters to come in other videos. Like, share, and subscribe this channel. Don't forget to click the bell icon for more notifications.